Hi, this is Lydia. I'm going to talk about Gaius, the 3rd of May 1808, and David's The lectures bring to Brutus the bodies of his sons. They are monumental works of early 19th century full of political and emotional narratives, but they come from two slightly different artistic movements. Let's look at the 3rd of May 1808 first. The painter of this work is Francisco Goya, the most important Spanish Romantic painter of late 18th and early 19th century. And the art movement of this work is Romanticism, which began around the late 700s until around 1830s and sought to express deeper, more subjective aspects of life, especially social and political events. The historic 2nd of May uprising is reported to have started in Madrid at Royal Palace, but the crowds moved to the city were seized by French troops. The French commander ordered the French troops to kill all these remaining who had weapons during the revolt. The painting is a direct commentary on the events of Peninsular War, where Napoleon's forces invaded Spain. It serves as stark anti-war statement, emphasizing brutality and senseless of violence. In this painting, it seems that there are more than 6 men with their backs to the viewer and holding rifles ready to shoot at a group of people opposite. On the left side of composition, a man in a white shirt, beige trousers, has his arm outstretched, and his eyes mouth reveal an expression that seems terrified but receptive. And to his left and behind him, there's a team of other characters waiting to be executed, who don't seem to be possess the same bravery as the central figure. And they seem to be filled with fear, and some cover their face with their hands. Besides, the background of this work is composed of buildings, which surround the whole screen and focus the viewer's attention on the central figure. And the use of color and light is also good. The beige pants of mid figure, the light green pants of left figure, and then the blood red create more dramatic color area. Moreover, the work carefully uses perspectives to integrate the soldiers standing side by side in a row, the group of people standing on the right waiting to die, and the luminous figure at the front into one work. All these details make the painting so real and feel immersive. Now let's look at the lectures bring to the Brutus the bodies of his sons. The painting is by Jacques-Louis David, a leading French neoclassical painter, and the art movement of this work was neoclassicism, which is the artistic and culture movement in the literature, architecture, visual arts, so on, that draw inspiration from the art and culture of ancient Greece and Rome, emphasizing order, simplicity, and symmetry. The work draws from Roman history to evoke themes of personal sacrifice for civic duty, especially relevant at the time of the French Revolution. David compares the emotional tension between the Bruce's public responsibility and personal grief, promoting values like state over self. The painting resonated deeply during the time of political upheaval, becoming a symbolic call for revolutionary sacrifice. The masterwork not only exemplifies neoclassical principles, but also serves as poignant political commentary during a transformative period in French history. Now let's look at the details of painting. The section presents the bodies of Bruce's son. The draped, lifeless forms of the sons evoke the heavy price of loyalty to the state. Their positioning and darkened doorway in the distance enhance the sense of foreboding and tragedy. This section is Brutus. Despite being at the forefront, he's somewhat shrouded in shadows, representing his eternal turmoil, and he's separated from his family both physically and emotionally, which shows conflict between public duty and personal emotion. Architectural elements like columns in this section evoke Roman classical designs. The grieving female figures dominate this section. Bruce's wife and daughters, consumed by sorrow and despair, are depicted in this quadrant. Their emotional state contrasts starkly with Bruton's stoicism. Now let's compare and contrast these two works. First, both paintings deal with human cost of political conviction. In Goya's work, the sacrifice is involuntary, the result of oppression. In David's painting, the sacrifice is conscious choice, made for perceived greater good. Besides, Goya's work is raw and emotionally charged, characteristic of Romanticism. The fear, the defiancy on the faces of Spanish citizens are palpable. On the other hand, David's painting embodies neoclassical principles, focus on stoic virtue, even amid tragedy. Moreover, Gaia employs a dramatic use of light and shadow to highlight the central figure and intensify the screen's emotional impact. The composition is slightly more chaotic, reflecting the confusion of the moment. David's work is characterized by lines, structures, and balance, hallmarks of neoclassical style. In conclusion, while both the 3rd of May 1808 and Lecter's Spring to the Brutus, the body of his songs, are deeply political and emotionally charged, they represent different facets of experience and artistic expression. These are the references I used. Thanks for watching.